I am your host, Danny Coleman, and you are.
Marianne Costello.
That's right. We are joined by engineer Art, as always.
Oh.
Hey, our international touring advisor and musical director, Rich Shalendo. Ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Hello.
Oh, you were out last week, right?
Yes,
You were gone.
I was. My kids had a concert. Sorry, I missed.
Oh.
They are a little more important than y'all.
Oh.
Wow. She went there
Yeah,
immediately.
wow.
Yes, she did.
Whoa.
And you expect any less?
No dedication.
That's why she brings chocolate, because that comment wasn't so sweet.
Whoa.
It was true.
Marianne, put her in the ribs.
You know what that sounded like there? That sounded like she's been spending time with George.
Maybe I have a crush on him. Who knows?
Whoa.
Maybe he had a crush on you.
Oh.
I heard there was stuff going on last week. I don't know.
10, 9.
Here we go.
Rock On Radio is brought to you by Neo Zoe Health and Wellness Center of Cranford, New
Ho.
Jersey. Rick Shalanda's Flying Dream.
Yo. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, when's his next gig?
It's at the Prague House sometime next month. Then a couple of shows in the summertime. Then Prague Fest October 5th.
We were
So-
actually working on the schedule last week. We're just waiting for it to be finalized.
So here's what I want you to do, Richie.
I have a very non-committal.
June 1st, I want you to just show up at the Prague House every night and see if you're playing.
Aw,
like last time.
If we said sometime next month.
Oh, he doesn't get in trouble for not being sweet.
What?
Oh, a little dagger.
She's got a little edge.
I've been driving all day.
You're spending too much time on it.
Wow. So, but thank you for asking.
I do ask those things.
Richie's good.
Kendall's still out with Project Optic, so he'll be back end of the month and we'll start to play.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Oh,
that's kind of what it is. And then
I didn't realize.
schedule will be
Kendall was
finalized
already.
now, and then we'll release it.
All right, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
I want
fantastic.
to play, it's hard not to play.
I know. I was looking at my drums the other day saying, it's been a while since I played my kid.
I'd love for you to start playing and really out. You better find the band.
You should bring him here.
And do what?
Play.
Well, I've never seen him play.
Store,
Russian. yes.
store them.
Yeah, store them. It'd be cheaper than $100 a month I'm paying for that unit. Who else are we sponsored by? Oh, we're sponsored by
Sam Archer.
That's right.
Oh, we're playing Rockfest. we're playing what? We're playing Rockfest.
Oh, so by the way, we're playing Rockfest, which is September 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
50.
Okay. City of Angels Rockfest. We are sponsored by Zen
Zen
Archer.
Archer.
Oh, that's right. D.L. Byron.
Is that the
Only radio show on the entire planet sponsored by a Grammy Award winning hot sauce maker.
Wow.
See that?
But you notice you
D.L.
brought the
Byron.
bottle here once, and then you never brought it back again.
It's
Yeah.
gone. Bottle's gone.
You had your chance.
Seems very good.
I know.
Who else? Ooh, Jody Weber, CPA.
Jody.
Hopefully her business will be slowing down soon. And Eileen Sullivan.
Oh, our actress.
Now,
When is your thing to do?
I was just about to say that. Speaking of our friend Eileen Sullivan, her and I are going to be busy on Saturday in New York City.
Oh,
I'm going to scroll down here because we got, there's Jenny and Jenny Barnes and the Great Unknown. Them guys are here too. We gotta get to that. I had it. I don't know what the heck happened to it, but there it is. All right. Warhammer Films. Warhammer. There it is. Warhammer Cinema presents Gods of the Paradox Film Festival, Saturday, May 12th, 2018, 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. It is at the Anthology Film Archives, which is located at 32 2nd Avenue in New York City.
oh.
There is going to be movie trailers. There's going to be several movies shown,
Yes.
short films. Our own Eileen Sullivan stars as the Queen Mum in Bjorn.
Bjorn on this day.
Bjorn. I think so, something like that. That's true.
I think that's the name
I
of
think
the
it's the name of the film. Yeah.
I saw the clip of her. It was cool, right? To see her.
Yep, I've seen it. And I
Right.
am the MC.
Wow.
For the day. So, there's gonna be raffles, Q&As, and tickets are like $10 to get it.
Wow, that's great.
There's a networking event from 2 until 2:30, and then the festival starts at 2:35. I just got the email, literally.
People go crazy for that stuff.
They
People
do.
go, I know.
And I'll be there, so come on by and say hello. That is the Warhammer Cinema Gods of the Paradox Film Festival. That sound official? Gods of the Paradox. Sounds like a heavy metal band.
Yes.
I think it is.
Did you go in the mosh pit for that?
Oh, yeah. I went in the mosh pit once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't spill my drink either as I walked through.
Is that technically going into a mosh pit?
No, but I did find out my kids wanted to take me to see Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphys at the Stone for Father's Day. But my son, when the tickets first came out, he said, "Yeah, Dad, we'll go. You know, tickets are like $50. Okay." Today, him and I were fishing. He's like, "Dad, I'm not so sure we can take you to see Flogging Molly and Dropkick Murphys." Tickets were $154
Wow.
before the Ticketmaster fees. As we're sitting there, about an hour later, he checked back. They were at $224. I said, "Son, at $50, I didn't want you spending that kind. Forget it. I've seen Flogging Molly a bazillion times." And so it goes. Of course, I could stick a dagger in his eye and ask to cover the show. But why would I do that to my own child?
Nice. At least you thought about it.
Sorry, son. There's 2 of you. I can't take either. It'll be like showing favoritism.
That would be.
So I'll stay home. This is where I belong. But thank you for tuning in. This is Rock On Radio. Our guests this evening are from, where are you from?
We're from the Jersey Shore.
Ooh, any certain part, or you just spread out along like the same?
We're pretty spread out. I'm from Brick, and Mike here is from Tom's River.
Okay,
Lakewood.
all right. That's pretty close. They're all close to each other. And,
Just one town apart.
and you?
I'm from Brick also.
Oh, Brick also. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we have Jenny Barnes and the Great Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, Jenny Barnes. I'm assuming you're Jenny Barnes.
Yeah, that's like delicious. So I'm looking at that. I'm like, I could use that.
What would you do with that?
Put it on a purse strap.
You gotta
It's a
start playing
bling
guitar?
strap. It's a bling
It's
strap.
blingy.
And it's I have a rose gold as well.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow, I love it.
Wow.
She might not get out of here.
Oh,
Check it out. The strap's
Yeah.
on.
I don't want to touch it, so that
It's nice down, right?
It is ice down, right? All right, Jenny, and who have you brought with you?
I brought with me Chris Pitcher and Michael Fash and Tom Rispoli.
Ah, Tom, you related to Don?
Yes, that's my brother.
Oh, no kidding. I thought you looked familiar. I know your brother. How about that?
Now you know me too.
Yeah, now I know you both. And you're both drummers.
That's correct.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys like borrow cymbals, like sisters would borrow sweaters and stuff?
No.
You got my sticks.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Wow. All right. So, I got it right off the bat. I got to know what's up with the name, the Great Unknown. Now they're known.
I know, it was just something, you know, we had to think of something, and I'm into that kind of stuff.
Just serious.
You know, every day is new, and do we really know each other at all?
It's pretty tight in here.
We'll be very familiar with each other.
You may know
Oh,
us more than you
great.
wish.
I heard it a little bit before.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Wow. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, I am too.
She probably heard it from you.
Me, never.
Never. 609-241-7103 if you want to give us a call this evening. Or you can follow along on Facebook, Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2.
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. Is it live on YouTube?
It is live on YouTube.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
What channel?
Nice.
I sent it to you.
Well, you
On your,
send it to me.
it's on your Facebook
Yeah,
page.
good to you.
All right. So,
So for those of you that want to find us live on YouTube right now.
just go to what?
Danny's Facebook page.
I
Or right, or,
got my Facebook page here and I don't see anything.
refresh it.
Scroll back up. You're the host.
And then,
Oh, that's true.
And you do have a
You're the
fabulous
big guy
shirt.
in charge.
the hostess with the mostest.
With the ugliest shirt.
No, it's fabulous.
Actually, I love that shirt.
It's keeping me awake.
Wow. That's a double win.
She said it's loud.
She's saying it's keeping her awake, that means we're boring her.
No.
I think that's where she went.
No, there's a,
That's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Take it
That's a
off.
stretch.
there's a whole difference with not sleeping for 12 hours and 14 hours.
I did that. You ever do that? You ever go without sleep for a long
Oh,
period?
yes.
Yes.
What's the longest you ever went without sleep, Chris?
Maybe 20 hours. I'm a heavy napper, so it doesn't matter.
I see. How are you, Mike?
Probably about 48 hours.
48.
Ooh.
And you back there, Don's twin brother?
I'd say around 34 hours.
34. Okay. All right, Miss Jane.
Probably 24, and I did a haircut at the 24th hour.
Wow.
And they called me and told me it was the best haircut they ever had.
And you don't remember doing it, do you?
I don't.
Were they waiting
When you were drunk.
I was just, feeling good from the night before.
My personal record is 36 plus straight hours.
That's a long time.
I woke up on a Saturday morning, did what I had to do all day. I had a gig Saturday night, got done at 12:30, left the gig, drove to Syracuse, New York. Got to Syracuse as my son was preparing to go to the park where he was in an Ironman triathlon.
That was last year.
Wow.
That was last year.
We sat there all day, came back to the house, had pizza, and then hit the road to come home.
Wow.
So I was up from Saturday morning at about 7 a.m. until Sunday night at like 11 o'clock. Plus, it was pretty long.
And you did it.
I did.
So you should be proud of yourself.
And then I got up at 6 to go to work. So I had like.
And then you went to
7
sleep at
hours
work?
sleep, Probably.
I'll let your supervisor know.
Yeah, he's sleeping. Or you can follow us on Twitter, Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. I forgot we're on YouTube. Maybe that's why I just wore the shirt, but it's ungodly hot in here tonight.
It really is. And then there's so many of us in this room.
And the heat's not on.
Body heat.
I know. But, oh my God.
It's like cold in the winter and hot in the summer.
Yeah, right. All right, Jenny. So the group bears your name. Does that make you the de facto default leader?
Yes, by default only.
Whose fault?
I don't know. I guess it's my fault.
How long have you guys been together?
This configuration has been together probably just about 8 months,
Probably almost a year.
almost a year.
How many configurations? Is this like Jenny and the Great Unknown Volume 10?
No,
Or-
actually, we were doing our thing maybe for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Before that, 2 years, but I've been writing songs for a long time, doing acoustic stuff, and then I just decided I wanted to have
Have some
something.
musicians.
Yes,
Nice.
Well, we were in a cover band for many years together.
yes.
Oh, you are?
Mhm.
Okay. What cover band?
Thick as Thieves. Hello, Thick as Thieves.
Wow, okay. All right, so you and Chris were in a band together.
Yes, and then I was in bands before that
Okay.
too. Backhand Louise. We were all chicks. We were rocking it for a while.
Nice.
How long have you playing the guitar?
Probably since I was seriously, actually, when I was 17, I was playing, but not very well.
Okay.
And then when I was pregnant with my first son, I decided that I was going to go take some lessons because somehow in my mind I thought that since I was pregnant, I'd be able to learn a whole heck of a lot better. It worked.
Yeah.
Yes, it worked. The power of a woman.
Yeah.
Power of prenatal.
That's right.
Wow. All right, so.
And no, you cannot take prenatal vitamins if that's what you're
We
thinking.
can.
Just say it, Danny.
Get good overnight.
Oh, this is degenerate. Okay, so, all right, so how do we get Mike into the band?
We met Mike at a blues jam.
Get him a
We gotta
mic.
get him a microphone. Claire, can you slide your microphone?
He does have a fabulous voice.
Oh, yeah, it's
Stuff.
terrific.
There you go.
We met Mike at an
That's-
open blues jam that's held weekly in Gary
Just
Chavico.
send me in.
Yeah, when he used to be in Bradley Beach.
Yeah, well, he's still running it.
Okay. Yeah, but he's at the airport now.
No, now he's at Woody's in Morningville.
Well, Woody's in. Okay.
But that's where we met Mike,
Thank you, Claire.
and Tom as well.
It's always a good
Oh,
time.
okay. I went to a couple of Gary's jams when he was in Bradley Beach. Like I did,
Yeah, Roosters.
did an early gig, and yeah, before it became a ground round again.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I would do a gig in Asbury or have a rehearsal or something, and on the way home I'd stop for the last like half hour or whatever. It was an early gig
Right.
of the blues jam. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, he had some good players.
You got some real good players. Yeah. Okay, so is that where you met?
That's where we met Tom.
That's where we met Tom. I think we might have met Don
I
first,
keep wanting to
actually.
call him Don. I keep catching myself.
Tom, remember it's a drum.
Ooh,
there you go.
She's sharp as a tack, this one. I like that. A little feisty too, there.
Yes, I love it.
That's what I figured you would.
Right after my own heart.
I see. All right. And, okay, and what's your role in this mess, Nancy?
Support.
Support?
I'm the groupie.
Oh, you're the groupie,
Oh,
okay.
she's the
No.
best groupie.
All right.
She's shy.
She's the groupie of this mess
She's not
that we have
shy.
created.
She won't talk into the microphone. Come on, say something.
I'm just glad to be here.
Oh, okay.
There you go. See? Hey,
Nice.
Great to be here.
Glad to be anywhere.
Hey, there's our man on the street.
There you go. Roving reporter.
Is that why he has the white ribbon still around his
Why is this on my mic?
I was gonna say
Someone's telling me
something
something.
about
Someone's telling me something. You put it on there?
Uh-huh.
I
That was
called
me.
that.
You must be special.
Oh.
That was me 2 weeks
That's
ago.
what
I was out doing something and I was stuck it on there.
That could be a symbol for something.
It was just
For what?
random, sorry.
Well, for what? Why is it guy?
Pete,
It
Pete,
was random, sorry.
Oh.
It was
Pete,
there and I
Well,
put it on
thank you,
there.
Claire. That's
Yeah.
very nice. I did
She didn't have a sock.
she didn't have
It had
chocolate.
nothing to do with that. It was just a little, that's all.
Ben, give me your sock. I want your pants.
Oh!
Wow.
It's that kind of night.
I can-
Wow.
Now Richie is developing.
I know, I'm hanging next to you.
Oh, so it's my
Look, he's
fault.
red now. Look how red he is.
You can't talk.
What's he pointing at?
What do you want me to do? You're pointing under the table. What's he
He's
want me to
pointing
do?
at his- he's pointing
Get
at
the
his
sock.
ankle.
So anyway.
Oh, wait, he
Never
was
mind.
pointing at his model feet.
Oh,
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no. Size 8 that we know of.
Well, Danny's an actor now.
Here we
and
go.
model put
You're the one
model.
who brought up your feet.
Never mind.
No pun intended.
Usually you get them sort of things. This time it went right by you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We have a caller.
Once we get this, then we can get the show started. Hi, wait.
I think it's
Has that
time
started?
Hello, welcome to Rock on Radio.
It's your minutes to call. You call, and I figured I heard a bunch of craziness going on in the show. I would add to my presence and give you some of my aura because you need it. You know, and just a couple things for you.
Go ahead.
So that picture of Stella and Ben Nickel Black, she fit right in with those creeps, look just as ugly as they did. I told you got that photo credit, but I'm going to tell you something. She looks just like a wicked witch in the West. Everybody better realize it.
Wow. What turned you down, huh, George?
Oh, wow.
He's gone. Is he gone? He's
Now,
gone.
I see that
Oh,
she
he's
was
there.
ladies back. She was taking care of her Oompa Loompas last week, so she couldn't make it. From your lifetime of chocolate gets better from the studio. Everybody's tired of her.
Wow.
We're not tired of you,
Nobody
George.
walking, nobody watching around.
It's harsh, George.
George sounds a little harsh tonight.
He
His voice.
does. Like, everyone's got the little harshness thing, except
Oh,
here.
no.
Is he there?
Give it time.
Oh,
George.
he's gone.
George.
George?
Okay, now we can get on the
Now-
show. I was expecting that.
Wait a minute, who's George?
Danny's star.
He's scary. Look at his little sweetness.
He is.
You're a stalker.
Oh,
And a star. He's calls in every week. He's a part of the show now.
Is he gonna be waiting in the parking lot when you leave?
See.
You're paying
Little
for
John
all
Steve.
fees.
George calls every year and every week he harasses me.
I love George.
And you look forward to it every week.
And,
George's mother.
George's mother
we
has,
talked about
George's mother has a crush on Dan.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
She even left him a box of Jello in his car one night. Here.
For Jello wrestling.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah.
Right, he wanted to have her mother wrestle Wonka with Jello chocolate pudding.
Yes.
Oh.
Got those pudding pops. I can't do it.
Aren't you happy you all came here today?
Tonight our guest, Jenny Barnes from The Great Unknown. And really, that's why you named yourselves The Great Unknown, because it's just, we're in that kind of moment, you weren't sure, or were you just sitting around discussing because nobody could think of a good name?
I liked it.
There you go. That's all I need to know.
That's all we need to know.
Oh, gosh. All right, we're going to get to some music in a second. But before we do, how would you categorize what these people are?
Well, I would say that we're, I guess we're just truly American music. We're blues, rock, have a little bit of funk, a little bit of jazz going on, all of the above.
You sounded great at sound check. Sounded great.
Thank you.
So,
True.
Thanks.
well, we're going to find out. Why don't you do two of yours?
Sure. We're going to do Johnny Cash for you.
John Cash.
Different
first time I've ever heard that. Ever.
Yeah, I like
Like ever.
It's awesome.
And you let us come on?
Awesome. See? Well, that's the way we do things around here. No,
Live on the edge.
no control.
Secret ride.
I can't believe you haven't noticed that.
Sometimes that's what makes or breaks our shifts. We just don't know.
I've often been chastised by other people I've worked with for not being prepared. How can you do that? Don't you want to know?
But guess what?
No.
They came in as the great unknown.
Yeah.
See?
So why should I have prepared?
Exactly.
No expectations.
We pretty much
Yeah.
thought.
No expectations.
The only one we knew was Jenny.
We've created a mess here.
Yeah. It's our top fashion. We do it every time.
Now, I want to throw something by you guys, and then we're going to right back to them. Art and I were talking when we left here last week. April 26th was 9 years of Rock on Radio. See, just like I never heard you, you guys never heard me either, right?
No.
See, there you go. That's all right, I'm used to it.
You had 9 lives and you still have lives remaining.
I have, not many. But I've been doing this for 9 years. Rock on Radio started on a very low power AM radio station out of Burlington County. And then 3 years later, I got tired of stopping talking when I would go under a bridge or get all crackly during thunderstorms, and decided to go strictly internet, since I realized that 99.9% of the people were listening to me on their computers or now their smartphones or whatever they have. And I've been doing it online ever since. There have been several stations. There have been multiple co-hosts. My original co-host was BC, and then he went on to better things. And then Floyd, and she left because she went a different direction in her own life. Then I had Cal Schwartz, and then I have you,
MC.
I've had my nephew Terry, who was a co-host for a little bit.
Do you realize I've known you for almost 4 years now already?
Is that
I believe so. I'm sitting here doing the math. When I get introduced.
Seems
to you on the
longer,
show.
doesn't it?
Thank you, Art.
Surprised she's still posting. You've outlived most women in my life. So,
His mother.
she don't even talk.
She's got the same first name as me. That's probably
That's probably why.
She talks to you.
And she's also the MC too, right?
So
Mary Ann Coleman. See?
Art and I were, well, that's right. Art and I were bantering about that perhaps we should have a 10th anniversary show of some sort.
I would love
Not a show, well, we'll have a show here, but an actual
venue.
concert with, but we're trying to,
So where's our field trip to?
we're having
Yeah.
to put our heads together on that.
We should plan to start.
And I would like to do that. I would like to do that. So I want to get your thoughts and opinions. Anybody listening and want to throw their 2 cents in with a venue idea?
California?
If you have been a past
I
guest,
like that.
You said throw it in. Hollywood?
all right, that's fine.
Oh,
I can do that. I know people.
How about a cruise?
Oh.
Yes. And not the dinner cruise from Perth.
Yeah, right,
I'm not one of those. Just making sure.
Okay, you brought up Port Liberty.
No worries.
This is around the Statue of Liberty.
Circle line?
Feel like a flash
Does the
mob.
name Leon Klinghoffer mean anything? But, I invite back past Rock on Radio guests and co-hosts, anybody who wants to come on out and have a good time. Would you come out and see this, since you're now a former guest?
I
In about
certainly
an
would.
hour.
I would. You've already been out the door. See ya.
See? That's right. Okay.
Oh, no.
609-241-7103.
Still rebuttal.
Hello, welcome to Rock on Radio.
There's your buddy George calling. I got a question for you now.
All right, George, go ahead, buddy.
You're planning for your 10th anniversary special, and congratulations, 10 years is a long time. But I hear that Willie Wonka making plans like she's part of the show. Is she part of the show? If she is, I'm leaving tonight.
Really? That's all it takes?
Oh, it's in her name.
I'm making her the host then.
Good luck with that. I'm leaving the show as a Willy Wonka. Willy freaking Wonka ruined every day.
Oh, yeah, George.
I'm so proud of you,
First,
George.
right, she likes you, George, and then you picked on Estelle. You're just out of control, George. What's going on?
Doesn't like
Talk to
women.
me.
She's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. George is gone.
George, that's what he has to say.
And leaves.
It's George's mother. Oh, is that what that is?
I just thought I'd put
George's
that in
mother.
there.
I love it.
My word.
I had to dig into the archives for that.
Okay, I'm kidding. So, all right, well, let's get right at website, social media. How do we find you guys?
You can go on Facebook and search Jenny Barnes and the Great Unknown. We're also on Reverb Nation under the same name.
All right, now where do you guys perform usually when you gig?
We're playing at the Lizzie Rose on the 11th.
Oh, in Tucker.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Friday. It's a great venue. A lot of great acts go in there, and I don't know, they don't have a lot of local music going on by where we are. Every once in a while, you'll find a little niche place where there'll be people that are making their own music and showcasing it, but for the most part, I guess that's one of the places that you go, that we're Asbury.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you hit the Jersey
Yeah.
Shore at all? Or
Mhm.
Long Branch, Asbury,
Long Branch,
Point Pleasant?
well, yeah, I've played Point Pleasant before, but that was like more of a cover band thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just discussing that, actually. Well, we discuss it often on this show, how there are just very few venues for original music in
Yes.
the area, you
Mhm.
know? And it can be very,
Throw down chocolate.
We all get chocolate here tonight. See,
Like
chocolate ladies here.
Help yourself.
Oh, their chocolate is fantastic.
So, how there are very few venues for original
Yeah.
artists, let alone.
And then some, you have to basically pay to play
And
at
I
a lot of
thought
them.
that's
Yeah, yes.
absolutely sickens me. I cannot get the top off this word. Did you get that?
Oh, she's so
My hands
strong.
With no problem.
My hands are wet.
With chocolate.
Sounds personal.
But there's actually a lot of great music around. There really is a
Oh,
lot of great artists around, and we just don't get to hear them as much.
Yeah, you know, and it just, it really, it actually, it kind of, I don't want to say breaks my heart, because I don't want to sound like some kind of, you know,
Oh,
home job, but it breaks my heart. You know, I used to do a lot of work with a lot of original artists in the Asbury area. And, you know, some of them have gone on to, you know, do some really good stuff, and there's just nowhere for them to be heard. It's frustrating. I mean, Asbury, yeah, you got the same, if you want to pay to play, the Pony, if, you know, you want to, the Wonder Bar, you know, the Lance and Debbie, you know,
Like the Wonder Bar.
they still support original music. You know, I the show that I went to Wednesday with Estelle was
Wow.
at a place called, it's a new place next to Lake House Music in Asbury on Lake Avenue. It's Asbury Music Foundation.
With the old
The
Chicos.
room was the size of this.
wow.
I'm not kidding you. The room was the size of this, and but they had 4 bands. The show was supposed to start at 7. It started at 8. The band I was there to cover was supposed to be on at 9. It came on at 10, 15. You know, I got there like 7:45. Needless to say, the Asbury Beer House was a nice house.
Uh-huh.
Or the ale house. We use the old man Rafferty's right there on Cookman. That's the ale house. But, you know, few and far between. I mean, unless you go to certain pockets,
Yeah,
so to speak. So now this, you don't have a disc yet.
no, we're working
I
on it.
talked to you later.
Yes.
Right, Chris?
Yeah,
So you don't have a disc yet, so you're working on your first,
yes.
right? Full length or EP?
Oh, it's gonna be full length.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm excited.
We're almost
Take
there.
that all the time too. I'm not a big EP guy. I should do a 3-songer to get work.
Well, yeah, somebody
Yeah.
told me that, just that's all you should send, because that's all they really listen to, and they pick one.
Well, they don't even listen to that. I sat one day in Jenks, and there was like 4 or 5 bands there with press kits.
Ah.
And the guy, the owner, because it was the old guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he was there. And he took the press kit, opened it up, looked at it, put it aside, took the disc out, put it in his CD player that he had, air portable CD player. Listened to about the first 30 seconds, took it out, said, okay, I'll call you. Next guy, next guy, next guy. I watched him out of the 5 bands, one of them, he looked at it. After everybody walked away, he looked at it, folded it up, put it back in the manila envelope, dropped it right in the trash. Okay, so that was 4 out of the 5, I guess he was keeping, but the other one was gone. He didn't even listen to 30 seconds of each song. Now, whether he did once he was driving home in his car or whatever, but so, you know, people who think, I mean, as a radio guy, I can tell you that if you're going to send out discs or press kits, do not shrink wrap them. Did you ever try to open up the shrink wrap on a CD? I
It's
mean,
good advice.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
You can't even open a water bottle.
correct. Thank you.
That's
Right.
Danny, it's very good advice, very good advice.
No, because, you know, program directors, they don't want to sit there and have to look for a letter opener or the car keys or, they just want to look at the desk, you know?
Good advice.
Yeah, see? Not everybody, like my psychotic engineer, carries around
I
exactly.
know, he was crazy.
Scalpel. So, you know, don't shrink wrap the disc. Don't tell me what you've done ever since the 4th grade.
Yeah.
I actually got a press release like that. Well, in my elementary school, I was the lead part in Pinocchio. And when I went to middle school, I was in a choir in, you know, how to succeed in business without even trying. And I'm thinking, really?
They
I
want,
was like the guy at Jenks that threw it in the garbage. What do I want to do with this?
for a venue, they want to know how many friends you have that they're going to show up to see you that night.
Yeah.
They'll go to your Facebook page, look how many followers, how many likes, how many, you know, okay.
That's
These
correct.
guys are worth a shot. If
That's
they got 5,000, they might get, you know, a couple hundred people.
That's right.
They do not care to you know, that kind of thing.
And if you say you tour internationally and you're a big band, they say, well, what's your local following?
Right.
You know, nothing matters except bodies and.
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah.
because bodies spend money.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So, you know, I mean, if you're gonna make a press release, it should be like a resume. 1 page. Boom. Here's what we do. Here's our website. Here's what we can do for you. Help us. You know? Here's where we've played. Here's who we've opened for.
We'll bring 500 people.
Right. Here's our website. No, don't tell them
Yeah, because if you tell them that, then, and 500 people don't show up, then it's just,
that. Yeah, when you're
Your last
498
name.
short.
you might be able to bring 500 people.
Well, no, as a matter of fact, I have some followers, but it's hard getting people when we play in New York. We talked about that.
Is that one of them back there? I'm just kidding.
Laura goes,
Spirit's there.
you see what I mean?
Is she sewing?
Yeah. Well, it's hard even to get people in New York sometimes. You know, it's hard to get people to shows unless you have to really be out there and play and have even fans that you don't know that aren't friends come and see you. You have to have a thing, and that comes from gigging a lot. You know, that's all. That's right there.
Mhm.
Danny's eating.
Dark chocolate with caramel.
Mm-mm.
That's peanut butter.
Intense dark sea salt soiree.
One of the best.
Now, see, now that's coming from a
Good, right?
man who has toured the globe since the late 70s, early 80s
Correct.
with bands like Renaissance and Nectar, you know. So it's just difficult.
Difficult.
I always had a philosophy. When I started playing out in earnest again, I, at the time, was working as a UPS driver. So I would see how many hundreds of people a day, you know, delivered downtown train. I figured if I told 50 people that I had a gig that night, and I got 5 to show up, I was doing good.
That's great,
You
yeah.
know, if I get 10%, I was ecstatic.
That's it.
That percent is big, yeah.
Word of mouth. Yeah, I mean, bands don't even put out email lists anymore.
No, I haven't seen.
People check their email on Facebook more than they check, posters in a window or any of that other fun stuff.
And that's why the Saint has like 5 bands on Saturday night, hoping that
Each band brings 10 or 20 people. Yep. So,
That's great.
but the best line I ever heard was my bass player went to get, in a blues band I was in, went to get a job at a restaurant. And the guy looks at him and says, well, how many followers do you have? How many fans? He goes, oh, how many customers do you have? What, is it my job to fill your place?
Well, that's the
Food should
truth.
sell it.
It is the truth.
Yeah, so if, a lot of times if the people behind the bar aren't very friendly and your people don't like that, they won't
They
come to
won't
that
go to that venue,
establishment, yeah.
right?
Well, like I mentioned to you before, Danny, that we went to the Langostel Lounge yesterday. And this was before bands played. The place was packed.
Mhm.
So is that
Oh, it
what?
was beautiful yesterday too.
So that has like a built-in, I guess the boardwalk have built-in
Oh, yeah.
walk-in.
It's like that in the wintertime.
Oh, okay.
It's always got a nice crowd. Langosta. Then the Asbury Yacht Club is attached to that,
Oh, okay.
which is a room again about this size, but they have live music.
Packed.
Yep.
Bar was jumping.
Usually is.
Yeah.
Usually is. So, you guys want to do those too?
Sure.
And then we'll come back and talk about the CD that hasn't been completed yet.
We're gonna do, The Great Unknown.
Ooh.
Pardon me.
It's kind of like The Great Unknown. It's kind of like you and I, Chris. Kind of like our hairline. We're not
Yeah.
sure, right?
It went somewhere.
I get it. I feel your pain, my friend.
I'm good with it though.
Yours looks a lot better. Go ahead.
Yeah, think.
Wow.
I love your voice.
Yes.
Ew.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
Bluesy, gutsy. Yeah, see, Nancy approved.
Oh,
See?
man.
Rockland Radio accepted, Nancy approved. Wow.
Just right, just enough grit.
Nice gutsy bluesy. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Thank you.
Cool. Now, who's the principal songwriter? You.
Yes.
Nice. Collaborate with these guys much? Or you just come in and say, look, dudes, this is what we're doing?
Listen, I've tried it upside down, downside up. Yes, I've come with complete songs and then I've come with just a riff and words and said, okay, let's build something.
Yeah,
From
that song
here.
that we just did was something that's just started with a riff.
That's when they, they growl at me.
Do they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Guys are
Mike
growling?
does.
Yeah, do the animals. Mike's a growler?
Why, Mike? Skip to the microphone.
That's
Right?
my motto I know on the show.
Why you growl, Mike?
Behind
Ow.
every great man, one better woman.
Wow.
I know, that's what I, sorry, guys, but. Danny, he still has no comment to it. He wants to strangle me every time.
What is that?
That's Sir Hiss over there.
Oh.
I am serious. I don't know. I don't know. How to do it. I don't know. I kind of, look, to have a beautiful woman behind you, I mean, of course it's good. And to guide you and have you take out the trash, why not?
I don't even know what to say there. Go ahead, Gelman.
I've got to
You were-
excuse us on that one too.
What?
I take out my own trash. Okay, we take out our trash.
Apparently that cracks her up.
That's all she got of what I said.
Well,
Sorry.
there's something about, that reminds me, I can tell my husband to take out the trash.
She's emailing him right now.
Honey, forget it. I'll take it out myself tonight.
I think
He
kids in
did put it
curb
to the
like
curb.
trash.
I have to give him that.
He did what?
He put it to the curb.
You don't want to take it to the truck, did you? Wow. All right, so when did you decide, excuse me, and why, that you wanted to record? I mean, other than the fact that we're musicians and that's what we love to do.
I've always wanted to record. I think I just needed that little bit of a nudge. When you're artistic or a musician or anybody who's an artist or anything out there, a lot of times you critique yourself more than you need to. And I guess everybody's like that with everything that they do. And I might have done that a little bit too much and paid too much attention to the things that weren't important. And what was important was that every time I sat down with a guitar, things would just come to me, songs, and I had a whole repertoire, and it was just, sitting on a napkin or a notebook paper, or I have notebooks and notebooks. I started writing songs when I was like 13 years old, and I could remember when I wrote those songs exactly how I felt. If I just go and look in that book and I read the words, I'm like, wow, I remember feeling like that then. So
That's huge for a songwriter.
And then-
to have that depth.
And then the cool part is that you'll play a song and it means so much to you yourself, and then somebody will say, oh, this means this. Well, it doesn't, but yeah, it does.
Means that to you?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, well, that's the whole purpose, really, isn't it? To make somebody feel a certain way with your music, even if it's not. I mean, look at Melissa Etheridge, right?
Yeah.
You know, like The Way I Do was her really first big
Yeah.
hit that propelled her. You know, everybody thinks that she's talking about a man, but nobody at the time they knew she was a lesbian.
Yeah,
You know, she goes, but you know,
that was the beauty of it.
yeah. So
That's a hit song. It's usually just it loose just enough so people can relate to it.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Also, we spoke about this, Danny and I spoke about this a couple of times on the show. Sometimes when you unleash it with a song, your deepest and darkest secrets, and you say, "This is only me," someone says, "You're writing about me."
Oh,
They
yes.
think it's about them. So it's really good to just like let it all hang out when it comes to a song. Just be yourself, and you relate to everybody.
Good advice.
Well, you're ready to record. So when can we see the product?
have we started the process?
Yes, actually, if you go on Reverb Nation, we have 4 songs on there that are pretty much finished. And we just were in the studio. Shout out to Joe DeMeo.
Yeah, Surefire.
Surefire.
He's a great guy. And so he's helping us out with these, the next 4 that are coming down.
That's great.
And then,
That's a great place for you to record too, because you have a live sound. So you want a room to record in.
That's a great room.
That's great.
and it's haunted.
Oh,
This
fantastic.
is great. This is like,
You okay with that
just
stuff?
like this place.
You like that stuff?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
I do.
We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
We'll take you down to meet our friends.
I'll take you down beneath the living room.
Oh, it's not in the basement, is it?
Yes.
No, Richie thinks everything's in the basement. That all the evil comes from the basement.
Yeah, not good.
When in reality, well, it could actually, since.
It is kind of like the
Well, the
lowest.
church is not built on the graveyard. The graveyard was part of the church. The parking lot is built.
Stairwells too.
Oh.
Stairwell is someone
In the
found.
new building.
Somebody
Oh,
found
okay.
something floating underneath the stairway. So,
So,
and that's where I draw the line.
he's cross-referencing poltergeist with the people who built this.
Right.
I'm wrong Art, on that or what?
Oh, I had nothing.
You gotta get that
It is,
sound.
but,
You gotta get that sound. You moved the headstones, but you didn't move the bodies, did you?
Same thing.
Did ya?
Same thing here. Same thing.
Oh, gosh.
They're here.
Yeah.
No, we have like Christmas show here. And 2 separate times, people came upstairs during the course of 3 hours and said, "Did you guys know there's like an old lady knitting down there?" She was downstairs, apparently they saw an apparition.
Wow.
We're like that Snickers
I'm getting
commercial.
a chill now, and I don't like that feeling of a chill because it frightens me. This stuff, I don't like this stuff.
Well, we see them every now and then. Mary Ann
Yeah,
and I will
thank you.
catch them
I feel bad.
walking down the hallway or in that room out there. There's
Yeah.
a child's toy that will just continually go off
Yeah.
as if on cue.
Yes,
Really?
In one of these rooms, we can't seem to find it.
that sucks.
I'm surprised it hasn't gone off tonight yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, when the batteries die on children's toys, they go off. I hate to be the bearer of, but we can't find the toy. Oh, that is so toy.
Wow. Go in the direction of sound.
This is the radio voice.
I know.
She starts getting in the corner before Brad, Ron, I'm out of here. I'm just telling you.
I see with those little glasses and that little one.
Just saying.
Here's Johnny. Fräulein Gelman,
Wow.
awful red over there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay, so how much of the disc is done already?
We're probably about 75%.
He's the numbers
Wow.
guy.
Is the numbers guy?
She's like, I'm almost done.
So that CD, a download release party, and that could springboard into bigger and better things.
Yeah, so we're hoping for it.
Well, you sound great, so.
Thank
So,
you.
we touched on it earlier. What? Go ahead, Nancy, you can talk. Spit it out there.
I just wanted her to mention Lizzie Rose.
Nancy Prairie. I did mention Lizzie Rose.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'll do it again.
Can you mention it again?
You good?
Yeah, thank you.
Not bad, Norway.
Behind every good woman is a better woman.
Apparently so. See?
Yeah.
Okay, so how much of the disc is finished? 75%?
Yes.
So How many songs will it be?
12?
We got to title.
You know what? I've been thinking about that a lot.
It's unknown.
I was gonna say right now, I don't know.
The Great Unknown,
Maybe.
self-titled.
Maybe.
I like
Ugly
it.
shirted radio guy and the Great Unknown.
Or Straight from the East, I was thinking.
Straight from the east.
Yeah, that's one of our songs.
Where's the toy?
And do you all know the myth of the third song on the record?
No, tell me about it.
It's the hit.
Oh,
It's an old school way of back in the day of vinyl and in the old days, record companies used to say the hit, not side one, track one. It's the third song.
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so just even for downloads or CDs, I still do
So
that.
even if
Really?
it's a horrible song, it's the hit?
No,
No, you have to put
you
your
have
best song and you put
okay.
it
I get it.
Well, what if they're all hits?
Yeah. Oh, there's how he speaks.
Go ahead, advisor.
Oh, and by the way, if that was the case, if the batteries were running low, they should have been dead by now.
Absolutely.
Because it's been going on since
A month.
October.
For months.
Didn't you ever find something in your attic that was like, wow, it was dying, but it was still trying to live? Like an old Simon game?
Yes, I've had that happen.
My ex-wife.
I love it. You're right on point with this, Joe.
Good times. Anyway, thank you, Tom. So, you're impressed that I remembered that?
Yeah.
And the 6 people that listened. 609-241-7103. If you want to join the madness and the mess we've created here this evening, you can do so. And what do we have to give them? I've got Rock on Radio Lube.
You do? You've refilled your stock?
No, it's still the same stock.
By the way, speaking of that, I saw you made a post, right? About the venue that you were talking about for your Rock on Radio 10th anniversary.
Yeah, suggestions. Yeah.
And I love how people responded, well, I still have your bumper stickers, or I have your t-shirt that I had to put on there. Nobody's mentioning that they still have your lube.
I remember.
I couldn't help myself. I was like, everybody's saying everything else but the Rock on Radio lube.
The Rock on Radio Lube is dial hand motion.
Oh, I was gonna ask that.
I was afraid to ask.
Oh, he uses
Most people
dial.
are.
Should
So
be
you
very
spell it
afraid.
backwards?
Huh?
Just saying.
Oh, Lane.
Ooh.
Thank you, Mr. Advisor.
Thank you, our international team.
Fire.
And apparently linguist.
After all these years.
Oh, God.
Wow.
You know what? Let's do another tune. Let's do another tune because I got like 6 different directions I'm gonna go with this right now.
You're afraid.
No,
You're cutting it off.
I'm persevering.
Good one.
What are you gonna do for us?
There's no batteries.
On those?
Straight from the East.
Oh, the one you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Jenny Barnes and the Great Unknown here on Rock
Somebody here, somebody
Hello?
here.
I don't have anything here. Okay, I can't hear myself.
Yeah, you stand a little lower.
I'm like, hello? I really, you caught me tweeting.
Hello?
Correct, tweets.
I thought it was the chains of the rattling. It sounded like it.
Think so? Could be your guitar
Hello?
strap. Woo, I don't know, I got nothing here. I can't hear myself. So, I'll take this off. Well, that shouldn't be turned down. I didn't touch it. No. Try it.
Oh, the mini witty did.
There we go. You got it? No. Yes, a little bit. All right, as long as everybody out there can hear me,
I
we're good to
can,
go.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's, I think that's. Must have been our.
The song that you did.
See, we're talking about her, Richie. She came to visit.
She might have knitting needles on the table.
I'm not saying.
She's knitting me a new sock.
I'm sorry, yeah, I just saw the opportunity. I just.
You actually feel bad about that now.
I feel worse than she. So,
Because I didn't do your socks.
No.
I'm not gonna go there. Okay, so, you know, we touched a little bit that, you know, you're a principal songwriter and you come in and you say, here's what I have, and then you put it all together. So, other than Ronald and you, Bonnie Raitt. You like Bonnie Raitt?
Love Bonnie Raitt.
That song, I was
Did.
gonna say, that's, who were your influences?
I'll take that. Tina Turner, Annie Lennox. I mean, you name it. There's just so many great women out there, and I know there's a lot of men influences too. But when I was younger, I listened to the Stones and Zeppelin, and Jethro Tull, and I got into the blues. And none of my girlfriends were listening to the blues, but I just kept on going. I got a Robert Johnson box set. And
Oh,
I just went nuts on that thing. And
Wow.
I surrounded myself with good musicians, you know, creative people actually, because not all creative people are good musicians, but
No, that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah, people that wanted to go out on a limb, that were like, yeah, let's try it.
Well, your band's right with you too. You guys are really great.
Yeah, they are
So
great.
they're right with you.
I'm very, very lucky.
How about you, Chris? Who are your influences?
Probably all the standard
Microphone.
guitar influences. I'm a big Allman Brothers fan.
Allman Brothers.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's probably where it started. Then Clapton, Hendrix.
so the blues players.
Yeah, mostly.
Okay. Actually, blues is my favorite genre of music.
Yes.
I find it's a lot like jazz. You can express yourself in such a simplistic way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as a drummer, something, you know, as simple as a hi-hat choke can bring a room to a gasp, you know. You know, when you go from way up here to down there, with just something that simple, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, accents and offbeats. And I love, as a drummer, I love to play the blues.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Mike?
Oh, I'd have to say, I'd say probably the Stones, you know, Jethro Tull, you know, yes, I used to listen to a lot,
Okay.
you know. Yeah, it's changed over the years, you know, my influences, you know. I actually used to listen to a lot of old 78 speed when I grew up,
Okay.
you know, like, what would you call it? Orchestra type music and stuff like that.
Big
You
band.
know,
I've got,
I've got classical music.
a vast collection
Yeah.
of 78s at home.
Right.
I've got Sinatra with the Dorsey Brothers.
Right.
You know, every year, I've got a Victrola.
Right, that's what I had.
You know, and every year I got Bing Crosby's White Christmas on 78.
Yeah.
My kids get a kick out of it. They're like
That was my
26
first
and
stereo.
22.
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
the Victrola with tubes in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can see
Yeah.
that?
Wow.
Yeah.
That was actually, that's how I started listening to big band music. Glenn
That's
Miller,
78?
Glenn Miller and my grandparents used to have a lot of
Wow.
that stuff, you know.
That stays with you forever.
Yeah. How about you, Tom?
Well, you talked about big band music. Yeah, Gene Krupa was one of my early influences. And then you mentioned Frank Sinatra with the Dorsey Brothers. Actually, my uncle Richie played drums for Frank Sinatra when he sang with Tommy Dorsey.
Oh, no kidding.
That's true.
Wow.
But, you know, I went through the whole rock thing too, you know, John Bonham, Ringo Starr, Charlie Watts, the metronome of rock and roll. I absorbed it all like a sponge.
And that's, you know, it's funny, I was just telling, I can't remember who I was telling the other day, but, when I interviewed Liberty DeVito and, you know, various drummers of different bands, even when I sat down with the drummer from Judas Priest, oh my God, I can't remember his name, Scott Travis. You know, he said that, you know, their favorite drummers were Mick Fleetwood, Ringo Starr, you know, John Bonham, of course.
Wow.
You know, and the drummers that stayed within the song, the drummers that stayed within, you know, that didn't, they were straight. Charlie Watts was one of the ones Liberty DeVito mentioned. His were Ringo, Mick, and Charlie.
Wow.
Because, you know, like Tom said, they just kept, you know, good time, knew when to fill.
It's about the songs. It's about
Everything was a taste, right? It was tastier, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it's not playing lead drums on everything.
Correct.
It's not a drum
Correct.
solo with some music to it.
And when you're playing the blues, you need simplicity
Yeah.
most of the time until it's your time to hit that fill or that ending or that, you know.
Well, Danny, you've always said you could tell a great drummer.
But you can't tell them anything.
Yeah.
It's for a phone.
I think.
Said you can tell a great drummer. I said, no, you can't tell them anything.
That's right. No, but a drummer plays dynamically. That's what I.
Yes, and to the song.
With touch and feel, you know.
That goes for anybody in the band, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
No, yeah, I mean, you need that with every instrument you play, but, you know, it's a drummer can make or break you. Like if you came up here tonight and you guys the three of you were playing and Tom decided he was gonna pound away, that would not sound very good.
Yeah.
Right.
So just blow it all out.
Does that mean we have to buy Tom dinner tonight?
Ooh,
I hope so.
You see, that's how drummers take care of each other. See, that's how
Thank you, Dave.
Spoken like a true drummer.
Wow. That's true, Doc.
Give me that $20, Donald knows you later.
See? Oh, God. So, all right, so you have all these influences and you're the main songwriter. So how does that affect the outcome?
Well, what do you mean, like with the way that we,
Great.
Yeah.
There you
the
go.
way that
That's-
the way that it comes together?
Yeah.
Well, it affects the outcome in a lot of different ways because sometimes I'll just have half a song and then all of a sudden the other half will come to me and I'll play that the next practice after we think we have the song down at the first practice, and then the next practice I say, hey guys, I got this part, and they're like, okay. And then the third practice, they're like, okay, because I have another
Do they
part.
make that face when they say that?
Yes. Yeah.
That's inspiring. It's very inspiring.
Yeah. So they are very good to me. I'm
Okay.
very lucky, you know. Yeah, you can really butt heads in a band, and I'm sure that you know that. Not that I'm sure that you've been in bands before that you've butted heads. And, I don't know. Have you?
Never happened.
No, I was lucky enough to have these guys, and they all are just real good to me.
Do you know what that's called?
Yeah.
That's called maturity.
Is it? It is maturity.
You know,
Yeah.
because, you know, I'm looking around at your band and they're like my age, you know, so it's, you know, you think to yourself, you know, I don't need that ego stroke as much. I don't, you know, that's what you want to do, that's fine. Just,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to worry about it. You know, I might have a suggestion. Yeah, that's whatever. That's fine. You know, you become less combative and a little more accommodating to other people's talents, I think, as you age and mature in this business.
Age becomes wisdom.
Correct. That's 100% correct. So,
It's
Or you're
true.
just tired and don't want to.
yeah, well, tell me what time to be there.
It's too much energy to fight with you.
I'm in a band right now. You think, you know, I'm in a band. It's 10, sometimes 11 pieces.
Wow.
Okay.
You have horns in it. Yeah, yeah.
We have a sax player that joins us. That's the 11th piece every now and then. But you know, getting 10 people on the same practice schedule and getting 10 people to agree on material and 10 people to, you know,
That's hard.
I'm at the point where my role in the band is just to do some Latin percussion, and I'm like the MC of the event. I keep the thing rolling. Our band's called Boss Radio AM Gold. And what we do is we actually create a radio broadcast live on stage,
Oh.
and I'm the voice, you know.
Do something.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
that's right. I'm the boss, Jocko, BRAG radio right here, right now. We got the Supremes coming up.
Boom.
Boom, they go into a tune.
And you have like singers.
And then coming out of that, you know, as they're fading out of that, that was the Supremes from 1967, and here's one by the Shirelles. Boom, and they go right into it. So it sounds kind of like an AM radio broadcast. But getting that many people on the same page is very difficult. We're all veteran musicians. So it's not always easy.
And I think the ones with the big egos weed themselves out after a while.
Yeah.
Water finds its own level. That's what my mother used to tell me all the time.
That's true.
Well,
Whoa.
it also runs to the lowest point.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll have to talk to your mom. Maybe that's what she meant.
Yeah.
And weed yourselves out. Kind of like, what rolls downhill. I get it.
That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole other show. We need another hour. Let's do some more music.
All right. So we're going to do Devil in the Deep Blue Sea.
moving, yeah, no, I can tell you, you're grooving to it, I am too.
Yeah.
Mary Ann's grooving, Claire's grooving.
Why am I telling you?
I'm available.
Oh, wow. Now, who decides what them time changes? Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and then I tried to explain it, and I tried to explain it, and then somehow it happens. I don't know how they.
She wrestles
Yeah.
with me and we finally
Yeah.
kick one
yeah.
out, yeah.
Tom tells me, I tell him, he tells me, I tell him, then Mike throws his 2 cents in. Chris
Wow.
throws his 2 cents in.
It's like a collaborative effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. So take me through a typical Kenny Barnes and Great Unknown practice,
Ooh,
rehearsal.
well,
Like 7 o'clock. you
Tom
show
shows up, no, it's 7 o'clock, but Tom shows up like quarter of,
Right.
and he's doing his rudiments and,
Wow.
all that drummer stuff he's doing. And then, Chris is downstairs in his office still working, and then Mike shows up with dog treats sticking out of every pocket, and runs up to him, and, yeah, so.
Mike's like a big bacon lollipop.
Yeah, Mike's making lollipops. Yes, it's great.
Nice.
And so then we get to working. We get to working right away, and we'll usually work on something. So if I have something new, I'll try to play it right then and there. And if everybody's into it, we'll dive in. Or if not, if we're working on something from the week before, then we'll go through that. But we pretty much get her done when we're down there. Yeah,
Nice, wow.
yeah. We have a coffee break.
Good.
Sometimes
Some
I'll.
Irish coffee?
Union rooms.
No, actually, it's yeah.
Sanka?
Sometimes it's Sanka.
The cat.
True story. I had one of my coworkers was complaining about he couldn't get his lawnmower started. Couldn't get his lawnmower. I told him what to do to get his lawnmower started. I can't get this lawnmower started. So I go over there and I help him out, and we have some trouble getting it started. But finally, I said, you know what? We'll give this our last shot. We can't do it. I said, well, just humor me. Let's do it. So we did it. The thing zips right up, and he's like, oh my God, that's great. That's fantastic. I finally cut my grass. My wife will stop hounding me because grass was like Vietnam. And and he says to me, he goes, hey, get you a cup of coffee or something, you know, can buy a bottle of Jack. What do you want? I said, don't worry, I'll have a cup of coffee. So he goes out in the house, and he comes out with a cup of coffee. I said, oh, cool, you already had it made? Oh, it's instant. It's not even nice to find Sanka.
Oh.
I didn't think they still made that stuff.
That was,
Did you put cream and sugar in it?
yes.
Or is the grass growing a little bit?
There's no grass there.
You're gonna lose small children in that yard. So, all right, so you guys are pretty much all business then.
Pretty much.
Who's
Yeah,
the
we
band
have.
cut up? Who's the character? Who's the
Oh,
clown?
Tom can tell you a joke in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a million of them.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a million.
Tell us a joke, Tom.
A clean one.
All right, so the guy is sitting in his den watching TV, sports with a 12-pack and a cooler, and doing nothing but watching sports. And his wife is outside working out on the lawn and cleaning up, and she comes in. She says to him, are you gonna just sit there all day and watch TV, watch sports? He says, yeah, why? She puts out her hands and she says, look at the blisters on my hand from holding that broom. He said, honey, next time take the car.
You like that. I see that you did.
He's gonna use that on somebody.
True story.
Wow. That was good.
Don't you have bleeps or?
The whole thing.
No, I have art.
That's great.
That's the bleed.
Oh, gosh. All If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. Our guest this evening is Jenny Barnes and the Great Unknown. Didn't we see them on like one of them Leonard Nimoy in Search of or something?
I like that. I like
did.
that.
I like
that
Leonard
whole
Nimoy.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him do a Laserdisc commercial on Facebook. You see that?
No.
Okay.
He's
Well,
dead, isn't he?
yeah, well, I mean.
That's what I
It
thought.
was a 1973 commercial, Laserdisc.
We had Facebook in '73. Man.
No.
Where, California? Where you
no,
live?
it was a vintage commercial.
Oh, that they
on,
replayed on Facebook. Gotcha.
No batteries
Right.
in the toy.
I just showed Marianne a thing over here on Twitter. Cracks me up. Where'd it go? There it is. Remember now, you know how I started going
Yeah.
back to the gym so I could lose some girth?
Yes.
And I just saw this thing on Facebook, on Twitter. It says, I've been hiding from exercise. I'm in the fitness protection program.
Right.
When did you enroll?
Well, I personally, I named my bathroom Gym. So now I can go tell everybody I go to the gym twice a day.
Because John's retired. John's retired.
Are you keeping up with that? You
Now
look
we're,
at-
now we're degenerating into a whole other area.
Are you going 3 times a week still to the?
Actually, I was away,
Right. Which is
so I
exercise.
missed. Yeah, you realize I kept track of my steps with one of the maps. I was doing
Yeah.
over 21,000 a day.
Wow.
And that was with carts.
That's miles. That's miles. That's miles. Oh.
It's like 6 miles, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you were sitting in a car when you did that.
Well, I was sitting in the car, but you record your steps when you walk.
Oh.
And even though it was, because we were playing 2 rounds ago.
Well, how many? That has to be 5 miles, right? Or something.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6.
It's like 10 miles because there's stagger steps.
Sideways.
They count as 2.
Oh.
So, what do you guys have coming up for gigs? Anything?
We have May 11th at the Lizzie Rose, then we have,
Did you mention that?
yes, Nancy, Nancy did too.
Where is Elizabeth Rose?
It's in Tuckerton,
On
off
539.
Okay.
No, right on Route 9.
It's right on Route 9.
Oh, okay.
It's a great venue. It's a whole big
No, it's
party
about a
house.
half a mile
Oh,
north
You
of
set up in the
539.
living room.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
60 people or so.
Wow. Nice. Wow.
Yeah, it's a cool little venue.
You'll sound great because if you sound great here, there it'll sound great.
Thank you.
Wow, you're welcome.
No, when I was just in South Carolina a couple of weeks ago, across the border in North Carolina, in a town called Little River. And in Little River, there's this place called the Star Tavern. Little, typical, I mean, it's a dive, but it's the greatest little dive I think I've ever been in, right? The tavern itself is the size of that room out there, if it's that big. That room might even be bigger than the tavern. So we were in there on Monday night while they're on our vacation. We're in there. And they had this band called Leroy Harper and Friends. It was like just people, just interchangeable parts. Sometimes during the middle of the tune, they had 3-piece horn section. It was great. The music was phenomenal.
It kicked, right? It kicked. Wow.
And the owners are both musicians, so that's why they have music 7 nights a week. So he gets on the microphone though, and he told me that May 11th, coming up this week, May 11th, Michael Allman, Greg Allman's kid, is going to be playing there. I'm like, huh?
Wow.
I mean, their capacity apparently is 80 for the fire code. And then on the 13th, Pat Travers is going to be there.
Wow.
So, what?
Oh, listen, some major venues are small that way, and
But these guys, there is no stage. You set up on the floor in front of
Wow.
the windows. I'm thinking, did they know what their manager did to them?
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great venue. It's people love it. But it's kind of like L-shaped, so the band is like back in an alcove, so I don't know.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of music lovers there that go to watch the band.
yeah,
because
maybe it's just that thing, that has that vibe in it.
What's your favorite bar to hang out?
Oh,
When you go listen to live music, what's your favorite venue?
I don't know if I really have one. Let me see. We've been to the Wonder Bar quite a few times.
I like the Lizzie Rose, honestly.
Yeah,
We've been
Lizzie
there
Rose
to
is
see
great.
There'll be a bunch of Alligator records.
Because it's intimate, right?
Yeah.
It's
It has
awesome.
yeah.
It is. There's like some kind of soul in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody leaves their mark, and the people that walk through the door, they just love music. They love live music, and they come up and shake your hand after, and they really appreciate it. So
Nice.
hooray!
Now, one of my favorite venues to see a show is actually in New York City, is the Cutting Room.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
I love them, seeing shows there. I mean, and that's not just because, I've seen you there, but
Yeah.
first time I was ever there was Ellen Foley's CD release.
Oh,
She invited me for her CD release party.
that's a great stage.
Yeah,
It's a great sounding room out for the audience, and it's a great feeling sounding stage. People there are really great.
Yeah,
You know,
that's cool.
really nice.
Mhm.
You know, so the Cutting Room.
Cutting Room is probably my favorite small venue to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
I also like, oh God, now it escapes me. It's local to the Jersey Shore. I like McLuhan Supper Club too, upstairs.
That's
Got
nice.
really
Yeah, we were
nice
there.
That's nice.
Mhm.
Got really nice sound
Ever go
upstairs.
to Roxy and Duke's?
No.
It's like a small cutting room.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has that kind of thing,
It's
right?
a cool
You know,
vibe, yeah.
It's a,
very
right,
cool
it's a
vibe.
cool vibe there.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Bob Macon's got a bunch of concerts coming up too to continue celebrating. He's
Making waves.
Making waves.
He
so,
played
yeah,
there.
they're Roxy and Dukes. He's got some.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're gonna
It's
have
a,
lot
it's a
of the,
cool little room.
we have a lot of the artists on What's Next
Oh, great.
are going to be filtering in, maybe some of them here. You guys know Bob?
No.
Know Bob Macon?
No.
It'd be great for Bob Macon.
Tom knows everybody. And he
No, I don't know.
Bob Macon has been writing a column for 30 years called Making Waves. He started out writing for the Aquarium years
Ah,
ago,
yeah.
and then became East Coast Rocker, and then he was like Asbury Park Press, maybe. I think.
Yeah, all that.
But yeah, he writes for he does his own column. Now it's on mycentraljersey.com.
I'm not
I think
sure.
is what it's on, but it's also back in the Aquarium too.
But he holds a lot of concerts where at the Wonder Bar, at Stone Pony, and what Roxy and Dukes he's going north.
Yep. Well, he's heavily into the New Brunswick scene
New Brunswick.
and the Asbury Park scene. So, you guys ever played in New Brunswick?
Yeah, we have.
That'd be a great place too. That whole area would love you.
Where's the Blue Moon? The one that I played.
That's
That's
South
it.
Amboy.
No, the one you
Ah.
played at is in like Bergenfield or something.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, I had the
Yeah.
flu. It was
And
terrible.
it's a Mexican place, actually.
Oh, you still have to do it.
You had the flu?
Oh, didn't you ever have the flu and have to play the
Yes.
drums? You have to.
Well,
yeah.
not the drums, but I
Oh, yeah.
I have the flu,
Oh, it's
and
so bad.
It's just kind of like, I don't even know where I was.
You're just riding that
Yeah.
wave.
I actually, I did.
Are we
I had the
done
flu
yet?
4 or 5 years ago, light of day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. The Friday night before the big show at the Paramount, they used to have Rob Dye and Cook Smith used to run it with Mike
mhm.
at the Wonder Bar. And for a couple of years, Cook Smith said, "Look, I want you to be the house drummer." So okay. So sure enough, the 1 year comes, and I could feel myself getting sick as I drove there. By the middle of the night, I had like 101 fever, and I was achy and sore throat, and I had to play.
Mhm.
Then it got down to about the last 4 or 5 acts, and they're all solo acoustic acts. I'm like, you don't need me, do you? Like, no. Okay, so I leave.
Uh-huh.
I get to my car. I'm probably not even at Corley's Avenue yet, heading towards Route 18, and my cell phone rings, and it's Cook, and he's like, "We gotta get back here, dude." Why? Bruce is tending the bar. No! So I was like, no, it's all right. I'm dead. But that's the kind of relationship I have with Bruce Springsteen. He's going this way.
Ah.
So let's do some more music.
All right, so this is probably one of our latest. Maybe a couple weeks back I threw this on. It's called Bitter Honey.
Is this the first time ever on radio?
Oh, yes.
Oh, world premiere here on Rock On Radio.
Oh, that was really great. Now I know why you have.
Jenny Barnes and the Great Unknown here on Rock On
Yeah.
Radio.
Yep.
It's all vapor.
One with that intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that's true, that's true.
Well, now, being a drummer, I have to stick up for my drummer friend.
Dinner number 2.
He was doing it, he
Well,
was
that's a
doing it.
breakfast.
Well,
Why don't you just call your twin brother?
but, you know, Tom back there, I mean, Tom.
Yes, yes.
Don't you,
There we go.
don't you love these cues?
Yeah.
I do those things.
That was a Jenny cue, you
Yeah.
just got
Yeah.
stuck her head or.
She kept her fingers out.
That's how new the song is.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that meant one of two things, either, because it was kind of like, you know, it's kind of went like that, so that means either we're gonna end or one more time.
Ah.
So, I've been there, I know, I feel your
And then you just guess, is that what it
pain.
is?
Yeah, you just-
That's all right, we guess.
You did good.
There were, you know, it depends, there are certain people, it's one of the things I often marvel about, with, you know, t-shirt bands. There's a video that Springsteen made, 75 to 85, whatever that DVD box set was.
Right.
And it shows like footage from Giant Stadium when they did the Edmund Starr song, War.
Yeah, yeah.
His back is to the entire band. They're not watching a thing. And if you look, all he kind of does is raises his shoulders and bang, everybody's there right now on time, you know?
Oh, we're
Whoa,
practicing,
whoa.
yeah, we're gonna practice that.
And it's like, whoa, you know. I used to play, do any of you guys know Alvis?
Yes.
You know Alvis, right,
Sure,
Tom?
of course.
Okay. Alvis was the master of the cues. Alvis would, I hope he's listening. Alvis would turn around and he'd be like, "We're gonna end." He'd have his guitar way up the air. All right, you always do where you stood with Al, you know. Then there were other people where they just kind of look at you, and like look at you and look at you.
And I guess if you see them lift their leg, you guys run, the band runs.
What do you want me to do here? You know? So, are you the director on stage?
I try not to be, but it all falls on me, yeah.
Okay. Is that what happened to your foot?
It happens.
Yeah.
No, actually,
Put it down too hard.
I was in Muay Thai class and I kicked and pivoted and kicked and came down on my foot and my calf muscle decided it wanted to stay
Wow.
engaged and it actually sounded like a towel tearing. It was the weirdest sound, yeah.
What kind of class?
Muay Thai,
Wellington
Wellington
Is that
Academy.
something you cook?
It's not a Mai Tai.
That's what I got excited. Is it like food and alcohol?
It's like
there?
Kickboxing.
Self-defense. Chris signed me up. So he could actually kick me the first class. He was kicking and punching me. He was never so happy.
Get away with it.
I choked her a couple times.
I'll get you for that rehearsal. How dare you?
My next question is gonna be, what's the other guy look like?
No, he was fine. You kick a pad, like these pads that they hold. And some of those guys really, like, they wail on those pads. It was just one of them things, you know? And then I have everybody telling me, oh, you know, you are getting older.
Don't you love that?
Yeah.
Screw 'em.
Yeah,
Forget 'em.
that's exactly
You know,
it.
you're not getting anything from me for Christmas.
That's true, yeah.
Wow. Jeez.
So is it 6 weeks?
Oh, sure.
Men or
I'm
women?
that person. No, I'm that person that people just say whatever they want
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
They
So
shush
you're
you
healing,
sometimes,
oh,
too.
so you're healing 6 weeks?
6 weeks probably, yes. But I teach yoga at the Center for Health and Healing in Toms River. And I'm going to teach 2 classes tomorrow. So come on down and watch me sit in a chair and teach you yoga. Yeah.
That's like Irish yoga.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
It's yoga for any age.
Yeah.
So if you're in a chair.
Yes.
Danny Coleman yoga.
Yeah.
And chair.
Yeah, sometimes I yodel too. Oh, yodels. We haven't had yodels. Brian Kelman, do they still make yodels?
Find them.
Funny
Twinkies.
You're right.
Yeah, no
Peanut
expiration.
butter.
Have no expiration.
No expiration date, that's right.
I know.
Funny bones.
Ratings used to be real cream. Not anymore.
Where are they
Fake.
now? Fake?
Chemical.
No way.
Yep.
What kind of fake chemicals did you put in
You don't want to know.
What a name.
Locust gum.
You don't wanna know.
Locust gum.
Right? Some spackle.
Red dye number.
Sounds like something I hit the road.
You still want your yodels?
Sure, if I find them, do you want them?
Yeah, man. Nancy, where'd you go to get gold? Oh, you went to get chewing
That's why Mike likes her, yeah.
That's my new habit.
Wow. Like, you got the tubes all over there?
Oh, yeah, no, it's just right on the floor.
Where's that going?
No, a lifesaver. You want one?
Lifesaver.
Lifesaver.
Oh.
Nancy, no, I okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
He's driving,
No.
he can't have one.
Ooh, lifesavers, too. Nobody here's gonna kiss me, so don't worry.
I'll take one. Throw one at him. Throw one at him. Okay.
Don't look
Can
at
you
me.
catch?
Open wide, they're gonna
Really
throw it
want me
at
to?
you. I don't
No.
know.
Oh, it's like you're at the
Okay.
boxing.
Curious.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
Nice
Now
catch.
it's got it.
Is there a 5-second rule in this room?
Here, you.
Yes, there is.
Now it's just,
No, don't beat it.
Oh,
Oh,
under
you
the couch.
gotta aim for the shirt.
At least he caught it.
I was low. Sorry.
I'll let her know.
Darn, that's what you're for.
Just not say it. That is no toy. All right, so if you're just tuning in, I'm sorry. This is our guest tonight, Jenny Barnes. You guys, great.
Yeah.
You got one more tune in you before we have to wrap things up?
We sure do.
Okay.
Mr. Journey.
Mr. Journey or Mystic Journey?
Maybe I'll change the name. No, it's Mr. Journey. They call it Steve Perry. It's like a funny thing, but it really has nothing to do with Steve Perry. It's just Mr. Journey.
Neither does Steve Perry.
Yeah, I know.
Because he doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
All the way during the phone, Danny's looking at me going,
Aw.
Where the heck have you guys been hiding for the last 9+ years?
In Kentucky.
Yeah.
yeah,
Good old Kentucky.
yeah, wow.
I looked at you yesterday.
Oh,
I never, and I've never seen him like this. And I've been sitting across from him a lot.
I'm giddy.
I know.
I'm absolutely giddy. Yeah. I love this. Man.
I know he does.
I am. I haven't
Look
been
how
excited about a band.
Look how happy you are.
I haven't
I'm
been
not
this
used to
excited
looking.
about a band in here.
I know. You look how happy.
We got some really good artists.
I know.
Too. But I just like the music.
I know.
I like the way it flows. I like, you guys do a great job of putting it together.
Yeah.
And your voice, wow, just like fits. Like,
Fits. Yeah.
you got that little edge to it. You got that bluesiness. You got that soulfulness.
I've never seen Danny Coleman quite like
Tonight,
tonight.
I agree. I totally agree.
Just
Oh,
saying,
Well, myself, I've been chair dancing all night, so.
just saying it for
Love it.
Is
to
it
the
his
audience.
shirt?
I've been chair dancing. I said there's no dance floor is not big enough in here.
Could it be his shirt?
It's my
It's
shirt.
got us all giddy.
Yes.
True.
And blinded.
Yeah.
Well, today was kind of a mixed weather.
Yeah.
Warm, yet it was chilly.
I was inside all
I went
day.
with the blue jeans and I went with the ugly Hawaiian shirt.
You look good.
Yeah, it's not exactly as a mistake.
Oh,
Very
no,
tropical.
No, you look good.
Oh, you got laundry to do.
Well, I did my laundry today, actually. I did.
No, you look good. You look good. That's good.
You know what? Jocko's got the ranch looking good now, where he's got all the plants
I
back
saw.
outside. He's got, the ranch is looking good. The shirt is ugly. The
No,
music
it's
is
good.
That's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
It is nice,
Yeah.
I do like it.
This is like a Bahama breeze.
Yeah, nice.
I like it. It's pat on my jack.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's-
Okay.
And he's a hat.
Jack Daniels. That's what. Whew.
Do you have the hat?
Do I have that? No.
No.
No, I drove mine. Look at my head. Look at my
That doesn't mean you
Hat
have,
head?
it doesn't mean that you have a hat on now.
No.
No, you need the hat, for the look, that Miami Vice kind
Yeah.
Miami Vice.
of sexy radio guy look.
Sexy radio guy. Is there such a thing?
Uh-oh.
He starts coming out with the white shoes
The
and
bell-
like with the
The
pink
bell on
jacket.
the wall. The bell on the wall.
The clock on the wall says 3:00. Last call. Alcohol. All right. Well, it is
That's
actually.
totally.
We do have about 30 seconds left. Guys, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
It
us.
was
Thank
such
you
a
for having
pleasure,
us. I
thank you.
have my,
Big
for
fun.
those of you listening, thank you for those of you who might watch this or watching. Thank you very much. I now have my new favorite band. Okay, but you have no music to give me. So now
Pretty
what am I
soon.
supposed to do? I just gotta start coming to band practice.
Yeah, come on over.
Oh.
We can go fishing too, we'll play on the boat.
That would be
Wow.
fun.
That's right. The Rock on Radio 10th anniversary cruise.
There you go.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be great.
It might be a little tighter.
on the
than
broken
this
down
one,
barnacle barge.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll have it, we do it in my backyard. And a 27-foot mobile home. So we got a tour bus and a cruise
There
ship.
you go.
Wow.
Wow. All right, well, we gotta go. Next week, our guest is a young, very young artist, right around 20, 22-year-old named Kyle Ross. He'll be in here with our friend Renee. Ellen Renee Ellen from Ellen Renee Productions.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you guys so much. Best of luck. Let's get a disc when I
It was
get
a pleasure,
chance,
yes,
huh?
sure.
Great.
Mhm.
Jay Barnes and the Great Unknown on Rock On Radio. Till next week. Rock on!
Yeah, man. Good show.
I'm so impressed.
That was fun, wow.
You guys
are right.
That was fun.
You
This
guys
was
are
nice.
freaking
Yeah.
great.
This is what you guys do every Sunday?
Yeah.
Nancy wants in.
You're not gonna
Yeah.
tell us,
Usually, I'm a very, I'm a chatter person.
All right, so
But
what
I
happened?
got shy before because I was put on the spot.
Oh.
And a lot of other people could hear me, so, I like it when it's a small crowd. I don't get too much feedback then.
Aw, that's fun.
We could have made you a contender here.
You could have been somebody here.
Yeah.
I am somebody. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Good answer. Very good answer.
now everybody thinks you chew tobacco.
Thanks.
Won't be the first time we did that.
That's a line from